Hey guys, David Folk here. Today we have another swing coming at you. We got a gentleman from Twitter who's looking for a little bit of help, and I have a couple of swing tips that I think are going to help him. It might help you as well. So, let's go putts around. Hit the ball. Boom. All right, guys, let's take a look at his swing here, and a couple of things we want to notice is his stance. It seems like his stance wants to go that way. And as we look at his lineup, his back is just hunched over a little bit. His knee can be bent just a little bit more. It doesn't look too bent on that one. So maybe a little bit more of an athletic posture for that can be helping him improve. But that's not necessarily what I want to focus on today. What I want to look at as he takes his swing here, you can see he pulls it back. And this is way over the top here. You can see this line where his shaft is. He's way over the top on his club, way past parallel. If this is going to be the line, you can see he's way past parallel. Generally speaking, when you're that far over the top, you're going to come over the top trying to get the club through and then hit a slice. So he makes that move. You can see here's where he's at. His hands are going to be right here. And then when he makes that move, his hands move right here on the downswing. And that's going to cause him to come through the ball. And you can see the target is going to be this way to his left, as opposed to his feet, which are more right of the target line. So he hits this nice little fade there. And it could actually be a decent shot hitting that fade. That's not the worst shot I've seen based on that swing. This is actually something that I struggled with for a long time, just based on my fluidity in my swing. And I've tried to condense my swing a little bit so it didn't look so dramatic like this. So this is something that I am really familiar with and have a good idea of how to help him improve. So let's go take a look at a couple of tips. A couple of drills we want to talk about in order to help this gentleman improve his swing, especially going to be at the top of his backswing and the transition to his downswing and striking the ball. Everything really looks good right until he gets here, and then he keeps going, turning, and you can see he bends this wrist right here and pulling the club across the parallel line. The first drill we're going to use is something similar we did last time with the ruler, but we're going to use a credit card this time, or a piece of plastic. This is a name card, and really you're just going to take your watch, stick it in here, hold it there, so that's going to be there. And the idea here is to prevent the club from bending and twisting. So you can see that it's not going to hurt, but you definitely get an awareness to know that when you pull your club back and you start to twist over the top, it's going to bend. So you want to try and keep your wrist straight as possible. And that's going to allow the club face to go down the parallel line here. So we're going to keep it this way as opposed to that way. Because once you get across the line, you're really stuck. You really have two options. You can try and save yourself by pulling it down and through and cranking across, or you can do what this gentleman did, which was here and then come over the top and down and hit a slice. So those are the only two options. But if you get it up here and you keep the parallel, not like this where you can see the card bending, but you keep it parallel to the target line, that just allows everything to drop smoother down. So the card drill is going to be a great drill. Again, you can use a credit card, you can use a name tag, a security card, whatever you guys have. Just get a watch or a band. A rubber band will even work. You can also use your golf glove to stick something in there as well, and that's going to help you keep that wrist a little flatter. That's the goal. The second drill we want to work on is really just a feeling. And what we want to talk about here is as you pull the club back, I want you to feel like you're doing maybe a 3/4 swing. And what you feel like when you do that 3/4 swing is you feel like it's going to be right about there. You're not going to feel like you're coming across. Really, the 3/4 swing for this gentleman is really where he wants to be, because his full swing is so far down like this. A 3/4 swing is going to put him pretty close to where we want to have. Power doesn't come from coming across the top like this. I can come across the top like this, and you guys can see there's no turn in my back. The power comes from the coil that you have when everything shifts and turns and then unloads from that. So it's not about how far your club goes back, it's about how much coil you're getting and then releasing at the ball. And so as you pull it back here, you can see, let me pull it this way here. As you pull it back here, you can see, even though I may be feeling like I'm 3/4, you guys can see my back here as opposed to this, which I can do all day long, right? I can shove my hips out, I can turn my club, get this, but my back isn't really facing you guys as much as that 3/4 turn with the actual torque of the back turning. So for this gentleman, what I would recommend is pulling the club back, feeling like you're getting a good turn, facing the camera here as you turn that, and that's going to allow, even though I'm not getting this action here so much across the top, I'm down the line, getting a good turn, and that allows me to unload and come out it. I struggled with this. I felt like my hips went out. I had this nice little big arm swing like Bubba Watson. And as I made these swing changes, I actually didn't lose any yardage. I gained consistency. So it's a win-win for trying to keep the 3/4 feeling for that as you come here and then unload, just making sure you get that nice rotation that you still have there. So I think you'll be surprised if you take the 3/4 swing, how much rotation you still have. You won't see any real loss in yardage. When you have such a long swing that comes across the line, everything is about timing. My punch shot struggled when I had an elongated swing because I couldn't get the timing down because everything was so long and coming through. When I took that short shot, everything wanted to move faster than what my club head was. So tip number 3 is going to be a pause at the top. And I want you to honestly feel like you're taking like a second pause at the top to start with. So as you come here, you basically come here, 1001, and then unload back down at it. And really the idea of a backswing is for tempo and to get yourself in the right swing. So when we take that 3/4 swing, what we want to do is pull it back, stop, through, back, stop, through, back, stop, through. If you watch my swings, that's what I actually tell myself. Back, stop, through, stop. And that's going to allow me to feel like I'm taking that pause. But if you guys see my swing, it actually isn't there. It's just the feeling that I want you to have. So that 3/4 swing feeling, when you pull it back here, 3/4, stop, through, stop. And you're going to notice that your back turn is going to be great. Your power is still going to be there as you come through. You're going to gain more consistency and eliminate that slice and hook that you're probably struggling with, that two-way miss. So another drill I like to do to help me with that is going to be the folding of the arm club drill. And this is just going to allow us to think about that 3/4 swing, turn, point the butt of the club down at the ball in the backswing, turn, point the head down at the ball in the follow through. And that's going to allow us again to take that 3/4 swing idea without going clear over the top like this. So the wrist and the 3/4 swing are really going to help him improve his consistency without really losing any power. Again, guys, I've struggled with this when I first started golfing, and this is something that I think is really going to help him and might really help you as well. So guys, let me know what you think. Go ahead and post those comments down below. If you have any questions, go ahead and post those down below. I try to get to everybody's comments and questions, answer them. If you have any drills that you think you might help him as well, go ahead and post those down below. I look forward to hearing those. Look forward to having a great conversation to really help each other improve in our games. While you're down there, guys, go ahead. Hit that subscribe button as well. Give us a thumbs up because YouTube likes that. Thanks for watching, and we'll chat with you next time.